Do you old school Forza people recognize this guy here? You just might. If you're old school enough Forza, you might just know who this is. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Landin Williams, and yeah, this is my AE86 drift car.
Yeah, so now I say, old school, and why you might recognize this guy. I'm going to bring up Mixer here so I can see you guys in chat, but let's go old school.
You want to start old school?
Let's go old
way
school.
back.
Where did you, I remember seeing your first drift video.
Yes.
Was not in this car.
No, definitely not.
It was in...
Yeah, so if we want to go all the way back, we can talk about Project Blackjack, which basically is, Forza drift team that I put together a long time ago. So if anyone out here is like 30 and 40 years old and above, they might still remember what Blackjack is.
Blackjack drift or just Blackjack?
Project Blackjack, BLKJ, Blackjack, but yeah, I did a lot of Forza drift videos back in the day, and then actually ended up working at Turn 10 for a long time as well.
Now, was that how you got into Turn 10? Was you were making those videos and somebody reached out to you?
Yeah, it was like a YouTube thing.
Okay.
So you remember Che Chow, he was the community manager for a while at Turn 10, so he saw one of my videos on YouTube, and it was a Initial D Forza mashup, so we were using Initial D clips from the driving, and then the actual cars were in Forza 1.
Okay, Forza 1.
Forza 1.
Forza 1.
1.
Old
Not
school.
2.
Old
1.
school.
Right? Ground level. And that was on Fujimi Kaido, which, that track just...
That's a sacred term. It's a sacred term. And there are going to be a couple things. Let's just address a couple things right now, just to say, so Landin is here. He drifted Fujimi Kaido. By the fact that he did it, we're going to be talking about that. Does not mean it's coming back. We have an AE86 Terreno here on the show. This does not mean that Toyota is coming back. Hopefully someday, we hope, we pray. We all want that. We get it. This show is not to announce great, huge stuff in that sense. It's a time to go back and
reminisce.
And of course, the AE86 this is a core drift car. This is what Initial D drove.
Yeah,
a hatch, though, right?
Yes, it was a hatchback. But yes, this is the car that was in the show, famous for that. It's the car that got me into driving and cars in general. So there's a long backstory there.
It's the original drift car.
Yeah, you could say that. You could definitely say that. Totally. Yeah, I think the KUC Tsuchiya is kind of known as the person that championed drifting when no one else knew what it was.
Yep.
And he drove this car, so it kind of just comes with the terrain.
Yeah. Let's see here. Screamy says he judged a drift battle on FM2 before, so he's going back quite a ways. Okay. Snow Owl, you might recognize.
Snow Owl, yeah. Hey, Snow Owl, man.
He's
How you
still
doing
his thing out there.
Oh, this is cool. We can see ourselves. Wow.
Yep. This is what we look like on the live stream.
Weird.
Yep. So it's a pretty good shot. Your car.
Yeah, absolutely. Should we get out of the way?
Let's give the car a moment. You're going to have plenty of time on camera. Don't worry about that.
Nice.
But we'll get some shout outs to our friends out here. Sushi with the proper term, Hachigaroku.
There it is.
Is that
right?
Not too...
It's 8 and 6. It's literally 8-6.
That's what Hachigaroku means.
Yes.
First thing I learned today.
Ooh,
okay.
Dropping knowledge.
Yeah, that is cool. Panda Terreno D0 says, Toasty's out there. We got a lot. Our regulars here. Matthias Matos, welcome. I haven't seen you on the stream before. Northwest Bunny, I see you there. There is your heart, baby. You get one every time because I love you. And
I'll do it too. I don't know who it is, but
that's my girl, Northwest Bunny. And Oliver Subdiffusion, all our regulars, Abanis Mattis, Paddock 720, Ultra Gamer NL. What's up? Yeah, he instantly asked a question. What are those flickering lights called?
They are strobe lights. So just kind of just style points.
Step a little bit there.
It's just pure style. That's it.
Yeah, and this is how he showed up. I'm like, I hear this sound up in front of my house. I'm waiting for the text, but I'm like, I think Landin's here. And then I go out there and boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it's all. All of this is inspired from Japan. All drifting, the style, the livery design, the two-tone, the flashing lights. It's all really inspired by that culture, which I truly respect and admire.
I was talking with Landin before the show, and I was saying, I love what you've done with the car because it's got all the drift elements, but it's still very much your own and stands out by itself.
Yeah.
In a world where everybody's putting huge wings on and you know, just lots of different things that everybody does. We'll go through that, but no wing.
No wing.
No wing.
No wing.
Nothing against wings.
Nothing against wings. I just, for some reason, the coupe, it's funny, actually, I preferred the hatch 86 for a long time. I wasn't really into the coupes. And then I got a coupe and I was like, what am I doing? The coupes are great. And I just love the clean, no wing look. Like, I think that it just kind of accentuates the back of the car. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nothing against how people want to style their cars. I definitely had a lot of help with this, so I can't take credit for everything.
Yeah.
You know, I think the design of the car was done by my buddy Ian.
Okay.
Factory 83, as he's known on the internet, so check him out. He does a lot of great work, and he kind of came up with this whole silver two-tone situation here, and then obviously all the graphics and livery were done by him as well.
I'm loving the purple. Those aren't scallops, or what do you call those type of stripes?
Sharpie things.
Sharpie things?
Yeah, the purple Sharpie guys, and the little pink reverse Sharpie guys.
Pink.
Yeah,
we have a lot of pink lovers out there.
Oh yeah,
Funny's one of them. A lot of pink cars just rule our world here.
Yeah.
But Bud in a few beers says, "Do you think you're police? Do you go around pulling people over with those strobe lights?" I think the answer is no.
No, definitely not on the street. Be safe. Don't do that on the street.
I think
this is purely show car track situation. So yeah,
probably if you drove around on the streets with those, probably get pulled over.
Yes, very quickly. It's not like I can hide in this thing.
Yep. You'll notice that I do kind of project towards the camera. That's also our mic.
Cool. Yeah. Am I loud enough? Do I need to?
I haven't heard anybody saying, but it's always, I didn't bring that up, and it's always just good to keep in mind, because if they can't hear, then they're like, "Oh, he said something cool, and I didn't hear it." Yeah.
Nice.
Roundish Walk is asking a good question here. If you guys had to decide a new car for a project like that, what would you do?
A new car for what kind of a project?
Well, I think to you the answer is obviously the AE86.
Yes.
This is what you went with.
Yeah.
Maybe
a
other
car
people
for drifting or.
Yeah. I think for me, what I would do. Well, for me, the answer, Miata. Miata is always the answer. That for me, that's what I'm doing. I have my Miata build over here. That is, cool. It's never going to be super hardcore drift car, but it's going to be something that I could take to an open drift date and try to break it.
Yeah.
And likely would. And we share that in common. And this thing's got 120 horsepower. And how many horsepower are you pulling out of this?
So the car right now is running NA at 150 horsepower.
Okay.
So it's not a lot, especially for drifting. But it teaches you how to drive, and that's the important part.
And reliability.
Yes, it's reliable. I don't have big turbos. I don't have to worry about overheating problems, stuff like that. But yeah, I think the big thing with the 86 and just in general, like why I like this car, is because it doesn't have a lot of power.
Right.
And so it forces you to really learn how to just kind of throw it out there. You have to go really fast. Aggressive driving, and that's what I'm down with. I love all drift cars. People build whatever they want, just for me personally. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Miatas that I see out on the track, and they're always
having fun
at the limit, and they're just at red line the whole time, and there's no room for throttle control or any of that. It's just your foot's planted, and then figure everything else out.
Yeah, no, I mean, in that sense, you're not going to take this to Irwindale and throw a huge sideways along the bank.
No,
but that's not what you're trying to do.
No,
Why did you build this?
Just purely for myself, honestly. Just to create something. It's I've been into drifting in this for that first video we talked about.
How old were you then?
Oh, I was like 20 something.
Okay.
Yeah, in my early 20s. So it's been a good 12 years, I'd say, since I got into. Initial D is what got me into drifting. I have no shame in saying that. I love it.
No reason to.
Initial D is great. It's a great show. It's accurate. I learned a lot watching it, and now that I have a car and I'm actually drifting, I've realized how accurate the show is. It's pretty crazy.
Especially when you're driving the car that you drive.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what were we talking about? Why did I build the car?
Why did you build the car?
Yes. It's been like 12 years. I've wanted to build something. I grew up looking at Super Street and hot import night magazines and like
Paper
scenes.
magazines.
Yeah, physical magazines, stuff that you can hold, right?
Real pictures.
Um,
And you were a great photographer, are a really awesome photographer.
Yeah.
So-
Thank you.
Yeah.
I tried.
That must
Proud of
have,
us.
did those magazines drive you to want to take those kind of pictures? Or was that an evolution of your whole kind of media career?
Yeah, it's just kind of media stuff. It's
Okay.
like, to be good at media, I think it's important to understand photography. I think it's like the basic level, especially if you're into video production.
Yep.
If you know photography, you understand framing, you understand like lighting and settings and just like getting a good quality frame. And so you know those skills, then you multiply it with however many frames in your video, and it's like it's just a sequence of still images.
Yep.
At the end of the day. So
Now, the dream that you are now living is,
Yes.
and I'm sure almost any Forza fan, especially Forza Drift fans out there, is you started drifting in Forza.
yes.
Now you drift in IRL.
I mean, it's really like the perfect story in terms of, I was a hardcore drifter with Blackjack, and I got to give a shout out to all of the members of Blackjack.
Yeah.
I can't remember everyone, but we got Swirly Boys, we got Frankie, we've got Evolution, we've got Ryan Literal, SC9K, who is actually drifting in Formula D now,
yeah.
so he was in Blackjack. I know I'm missing so many people that contributed to the team, but you guys, I mean, we did some incredible stuff back in the day. We spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours filming these shots and choreographing these moments. So that all just kind of led me here, and I always knew that I wanted to do it in real life, but it's tough. It's not easy to do.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap. It's not a sport that you can just go somewhere and buy a drift car.
Yep.
Unless you really have some serious
You got
funding.
$60,000 to $100,000.
Yeah, to just be
throw
like,
in.
hey, give me a drift car. It's like,
Yeah.
you have to meet people and you have to learn what settings to adjust and like what parts to buy. And if I take this transmission from this car and how can I fit that to the engine that I have and what drive shaft do I need and then what rear end do I run and what axle sizes can I get away with. And it's just this whole like web of trying to figure out how to build a proper car.
I found once you change one thing, you have slipped down the slippery slope, and now you've got a whole bunch more decisions to make because you got more power. You're going to break this. And then you can put a stronger transmission. You break this.
Yeah.
And I assume you have climbed that mountain.
Yes.
And you have sat at the top, and hopefully you're lingering somewhere at the summit, I imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is no real summit. Like you're saying, you've always got to add more. And for me right now, I'm at a point where the drivetrain is really solid, so I'm running, not to skip ahead, I know we'll talk about the whole build and what all the parts and all the stuff, but I'm at a point now where the drivetrain is really solid and strong, but it's heavy. I have a truck axle, so it's heavier than the stock axle.
Okay.
I've got a bigger transmission that's heavier, and the gearing's different. So now it's like a power situation where I need just a little more power, just a little bit to get all that stuff spinning.
Watch that though, because that's the really slippery slope. Once you get that feel for that, then you're like, and then it's just the horsepower wars.
Yeah, but I think I'll cap myself. I think if I ever get 200 to the wheels, that I won't go higher than that.
Okay.
That would be it. I think really my goal is 180.
Okay.
So 30 more than what I have, which the car does really well. You can drift the car with not a lot of horsepower. Again, you just have to really commit and go fast and be aggressive and be a maniac. And that's what makes these cars so special to me, is that you can't ease into it.
What would 30 more horsepower let you do?
I think I wouldn't have to clutch kick as much. Okay. So I'm definitely right now,
because it'll bog down a little bit.
It'll bog down.
So you ride the clutch and
yeah, so it's just like which is fun. I like doing it. It's aggressive, but it'd be nice to not have to do it as much.
Right, and it'd be easier on your clutch and probably easier on the engine.
Yes, totally. So it would do that. Just generally, I think for tandeming, having more horsepower is kind of necessary because you need to be able to adjust.
Because most people have at least a little more horsepower. Or, I don't know, what's your crew like that you run with? Are they?
Yeah, they're most of the people I drive with are running either a Beams motor, which is from the Altezza, which is a great engine. The Beams is a huge powerhouse motor. Just not a powerhouse, but it's for the money and for the displacement, it's like really solid.
4-cylinder or 6-cylinder?
It's 4. It's 4-cylinder. I don't know how many. I think it's 2 liters. Don't quote me on that. I don't know.
We can just ask it for you.
Yeah, I'm sure someone is an
Beams,
expert.
spell it out.
Beams. B-E-A-M-S.
Okay.
Beams.
Somebody tell us what the horsepower
like
is.
Beams with an M.
Of the Beans motor from the Altezza.
Yeah, I think it's 2 liters. I think someone has got Google, right? You guys got Google.
Oh yeah, these guys are on it right now. Subterfusion asks, what will you do to add that 30 horsepower?
Nitrous.
Nice. Insta-power.
Nice. So yeah, the car is set up to run nitrous, hence the squeeze. Kind of ties in, right? You squeeze nitrous.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the goal. Just to get the nitrous running.
So that'd be a pretty mellow shot.
Yeah, it's like a 30 shot. Basically.
Okay.
And again, like how people measure nitrous is kind of weird.
Is it?
Like you could say a 30 shot, but it actually is. It's hard to get it specific.
You got one nozzle that says that it's a certain amount of dose,
and it's all pressure
and how much you're sucking.
Jet size, and so it's this kind of like mathematical equation. Which luckily I have some help with friends at Xcessive Manufacturing. I got to give them a huge shout out right here. Xcessive. They have done so much for me, and yeah, so they've helped kind of figure out what that strategy is for getting the nitrous running.
Okay.
And then also, not to just shout out everyone, but I might as well just get it out of the way. My boy Mark Panic does the wiring setup. So I've been blessed by having this help. Like honestly, I think that I wouldn't be here. This wouldn't exist if I didn't have the help of my friends.
Well, you're in the scene. You built, you kind of built a name for yourself. And you're definitely a cool dude. We did some work together at Turn 10, and I think we always had great chemistry together.
Yeah,
hence
absolutely.
What's happening right now? And so I think that once you build, you show your love and you meet the right people, and people are happy to help you. If you're not cool and you're out there and just throwing money around, people will do work for money.
Yeah.
But when you're doing what you're doing it out of love of drifting, and
Yeah.
you're building a car that's your own. For having fun, that's something people are into.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that, and I think
Gloves out here.
it's refreshing to see someone doing something for themselves, and there's no monetary incentive, there's no bigger picture in that. It's just let's do something cool, and so the folks at Xcessive really help with the nitrous. So yeah, that's the goal, is to get 30 horsepower. 180.
Cap it. Blow the motor up either. That'll.
No, you just need to make sure it's like that's what we're managing right now, is being able to measure the pressure in each line, so that we know
enough fuel pump.
Yes.
Right air mixture, so you're not just flooding the motor with nitrous,
Yes.
which will obviously go fast and furious on you.
Yeah, exactly. And then the wiring right now is kind of set up through panic wire, and I've got a link ECU that sort of triggers the nitrous when it's 90% throttle and I think it's over 4,000 or 5,000 RPM.
Okay.
So it's not always on, it's just on when you need it.
When you're up
so
in
basically when you're smashing it, the nitrous kicks in.
Cool. Ex-Bandit Keith, thank you for the answer. He comes up in the Beams motor, 2 liters,
2 liters.
197 horsepower.
Right.
And then looks like Bandit Keith further goes on. The Beams motor had 3 versions, red, gray, and black.
Yes. The black top, I believe, is the one you want.
Okay.
I mean, they're all great. I don't know that, again, I know a lot about all the stuff on this car.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else about.
Yeah, if you
other
bought a
cars.
Beams motor, you could start looking at it. Hey, I gotta fix something.
Sure.
Okay, just give me 1 second here.
Absolutely. Oh, is it the?
Nope. People are saying that I'm looking too short. But Landin is very tall. How tall is your guest? He's making you look like a midget. Okay, so what's up now? What's up now?
Right.
Now I'm cutting my own head off. All right, so let's do this for a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and actually, look, now I'm.
Yeah, no, that's good. Eye to eye, baby.
I cannot imagine being this tall. Let's just go there
Just
for a
take it
second.
in for a moment. Like, look around.
Yeah, I mean,
Like you could reach stuff.
I would hit my head on those bicycles every time.
You hit your head. Definitely, I hit my head a
How
lot.
tall are you?
6'5".
6'5".
Yeah.
So I'm 5'8". I've always been 5'8". I was 5'8 and a half for a while, but I think I'm just down to 5'8 now.
Yeah.
What's it like to be a tall dude?
You know, it has its perks. It also has its drawbacks. Getting on airplanes is the absolute worst. So the length of the seat between the back of the seat you're in and the seat in front of you is exactly the length of my hip down to my knee. So it's literally like wedged in the seat, and I can't sit up or I can't slouch. It's just like
That you're
you're
here
optimizing
and
your
you're
space
just
and
in nothing to do.
there's nowhere to go. But you know, concerts is dope. Going to a concert and being able to see everything. Although you feel bad because you're blocking people, so it's like this constant like, sorry, but
I'm
like,
always looking out for you, for guys like you and Sean says, don't get behind that guy!
Yeah.
And for some reason I always do.
Right? It seems like you always end up.
But
So,
it
yeah,
does
I mean,
seem,
it's
tall
cool.
guys are aware of that.
Yeah.
They're thankful, but at the same time, it seems most dudes are aware that
Yes.
they, you know, that they're
But
that
it's
they're
like,
tall.
what are you gonna do? It's like,
Yeah.
I want to see too.
Yeah.
You expect me to go all the way to the back and not experience?
I'm
like
not
a-
going to crouch.
Yeah. You know, I think a lot of tall people do actually have back problems because they like. It's all about the posture. You
We
gotta
all
keep that posture
we
good.
could all benefit from a bit of posture practice.
Especially, yeah.
Working on that, doing some yoga lately, and it really does help. You know, it's just maintaining an awareness.
This is glorious too.
Oh, thank you.
How long is that? I had to ask. How long have you been working on that?
This has been going on for Northwest Bunny. How long? I think 2.5 years. I think.
Okay.
About.
Wow, that's actually not that long. I thought that you were going to say like 10 years or something crazy.
No, it's funny how, you know, time and patience, really,
Yeah.
because it is, Northwest Bunny has to rebraid this thing every week. I have to blow dry it. I mean, I don't have hair to worry about, so this is my hair care.
That's the grooming section.
Need that. Which we want.
It is. We're moving around, you know, we're getting
Yeah,
rolling.
we'll show off the, I bought a heater, because it was 9 degrees this
A little
morning
chilly.
when I came outside to move cars around, 9. And I bought a propane heater in here, and we're both aware of the fact that it's supposed to be for outdoor use only. But so if we start acting really silly and maybe we're not aware, you guys can shout out and be like, John, open the door.
Yeah. Get us on that. I think we should talk about the intense day I had yesterday to even get the car here.
Yes.
Maybe that's a good story to share with everyone.
Let's go a step before that
Okay.
to what you did this last weekend
Yes.
that caused you to need to do that stuff.
Okay, I see.
Drifting in real life, one
yes.
of our local places is...
So it's Spirit Peaks Raceway. It's a track that's in Castle Rock. Toutle is the actual city that it's in, but Castle Rock just sounds cooler.
which is like basically
It's like
a post
a town.
office and a restaurant.
Yeah, it's like a town. Yeah. But the track Spirit Peaks Raceway. I'm going to say it a few times because they are awesome, super welcoming to everyone.
Small town.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean it's very affordable to go there, and they treat everyone with love. And it's, as someone that drifts a car, you know, drifting is not a thing that you can do anywhere. Right, and
So great place doesn't
a lot
have
of
drift
tracks
days.
don't allow it. So definitely, when people support it, it's good to really just show the appreciation that it's like there's a spot that you can even do it safely
And affordably.
and it's just a lot of fun. The vibe there is really good. It's laid back. There's not a lot of ego involved or any of that. It's just everyone helps each other. If you haven't been to a drifting event, I think it's the most communal, like, helping of each other that you would see at a racing event, because
community.
there is no winner. It's not a race.
Yep.
So there's not a contest.
There's lots
So-
of high-fiving and things like that. Like, dude, that was a great run.
Yeah.
But it's not like, oh, mine was better than yours.
Yeah, or like,
I
hey,
feel
I need a, you know, a tie rod end or something. You know, if you need spare parts, like I've seen people take parts off their car and give it to someone because they have a trailer to drive home and maybe someone else doesn't have a trailer. It's like, it's just,
It's community.
it is, and
It's a village.
And I think that it's mainly because of how difficult it is to own and race a drift car, how often they break, and how much support you need. That it's sort of just like everyone's leaning on everyone else, and it creates this good vibe. So, anyways, not to go down a rabbit hole, Spirit Peaks is
We're
rad.
all about rabbit holes here.
This is we're looking at a rabbit hole. But
So we went there
Yeah.
last week. It was an open drift day.
Yep.
You drive the car there.
yes, I don't have a trailer, so I'm definitely that's next on the list.
Okay.
But for right now, I just, I do what it takes. So I drive down there. It's a 2-hour drive. Drive all day at the track and then drive home. So it's a
That's-
commitment.
That's
car
the real deal.
that has no interior, the hardest suspension you can have, the hardest bushings everywhere that you can have. Like, it's not built to do anything else but go drifting. Like, yeah, it's loud. I wear
Heat works,
earplugs. No, there's no heat.
No heat. Oh,
No heat, no power steering, nothing. No AC, nothing. Okay, nothing. If the windows fog up, I have to manually wipe them down. So I've experienced a lot of just things that I look back on and I'm like, why did I do that? But it's just part of it. It's like, you work with what you have.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And this is what I got. Getting a working heater is just something that's not a priority. You
need it today, and maybe one other day out of the year. Otherwise, your helmet on, suit. Do you have a suit, or you just kind of wear a coat? Coat stuff?
Just whatever. Yeah, helmet, and then whatever's clever.
Not full on gear or anything. But you're plenty warm because you're psyched.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I'm sure the motor by itself, when you're running it at those RPMs on every run, it's generating a significant amount of heat as it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's tire smoke, which just makes you feel warm.
It smells so good. It smells so good. That's why I was saying to you, I'm not going to even smell when this propane takes over, because I've smelled tires and gear oil. Like, gear oil dripped on my head the other day. Like, it's whatever.
Notion.
All right. So yeah, went to the track on last weekend. Amazing day. I think you shared one of the photos just recently.
On Heavy Metal Affliction Instagram, I shared one of the pro photos. You want to shout out to the person who took that
Yes,
photo?
Rod Knock Rudy on Instagram. You're the man. He stands out there, rain, snow, whatever it takes, and he's out there all day shooting. So yeah, definitely give Rod Knock Rudy a follow, or just send some good vibes his way.
This is fun. We're like eye to eye. I'm not used to this. I'm usually like this, and I'm used to that.
Right? Yeah, that's good. It's a good look for you.
I won't do this the whole time, but this will be like the Johniwanna Tall show.
Yeah, right. So went to the track. The track was amazing. Had a great day. However, I broke a lower suspension mount on the car. So and honestly, it might have been broken while I was driving, because I noticed that side of the car was sitting lower.
Okay.
And I was like, maybe, I don't know, like when you're at the track, you kind of you can't pay attention to everything at once,
Yep. Keep going.
So yeah, basically that broke, and I had to kind of get that resolved before bringing the car here. So, it involves some welding. I don't know how to weld. That's like one of the things that I actually need to learn. But my good friend Tyler up in Snoqualmie helped me get it welded. So basically the story is, found out it was broken. It's also snowing here as well. So I drove here in the snow for you guys in my race car with tires that shouldn't even be out in the wet.
It was in the teens this morning. There was still ice all over the roads, and like fear of black ice everywhere in the news, and spin outs. Yeah. Was traffic
was okay. Yeah, traffic was all right.
You're lucky.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it back to my house, because I have some hills and I can come down, but getting back up, we'll see. Anyways, all of this just to kind of be here. But yesterday, took the axle out. So the axle was out of the car yesterday.
Okay.
Drove it over to my friend's house. He welded it all back up, and then worked all day, and then came home and put the axle back in last night. So the axle was out of the car up until 10 o'clock last night. Boom!
Dude, that's the effort. That's the effort. And that is so awesome.
Maximum effort.
I was a bit worried when you're like doing this event the weekend before, and I said, don't break anything.
I know.
Just kidding, of course, because you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
But there's a risk, if you have a $100,000 drift car or a $25,000 drift car, stuff breaks because you're driving at the limit. You're making the car do things it's not really meant to do. It's happy to do them.
Yes.
But if I went out and ran fast all day, I might hurt something. I might break something.
Yeah, totally. It's one of my good friends, Matt Panic. Also, Matt Panic has helped me with all of this, so I'll probably be talking about him a lot. But
cool.
He says that it's not a matter of if it'll break, it's a matter of when it breaks. And even if you spend more money on a part to buy the fanciest, danciest, most expensive, titanium this, blah, 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 that just extends the amount of time you have until it breaks.
Or I can attest, because the Miata just got a new fuel pump a while back, brand new Delphi fuel pump, the high dollar one.
Yeah.
Guess how long it lasted?
I'm gonna say a week.
Exactly. Exactly. About 70 miles, and the fuel pump failed.
Yeah.
And it's just because, every 1 out of, 500, somebody didn't do a good job on it.
Just a connection or a solder point failed or something.
Who knows? It's hard to say, but stuff just fails. Whether it's new, the best, or the cheapest, or used. You might have a used part that you picked up from a friend, and it's already got 100,000 miles on it, and it'll be the one thing in your car that just lasts forever, because the guy that was working that day, man, he
over engineered,
raised it, rewelded. He's like, that's the best axle
never
ever out
break.
here.
That axle will be there like after the Armageddon. That axle will still be intact.
Yeah, everything else will be rusted down to the ground
Yeah.
in a heap, with this axle be sticking out of the ground like a symbol.
Exactly. Should we do like a walk, like a?
Yeah,
I feel like I don't know if they've gotten a view of the car. Like
Let us motivate into that.
Yeah.
So, want to pop the hood? And we'll start up front with the
let's
engine,
do it.
and we'll do that first.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Pops Dola. And yeah, the livery is just awesome. I've only seen this car in development.
Yeah.
In a few posts over the years. But you're not like a super post-happy dude that's like every single thing you do that you're like, hey, look what I did.
Yeah.
It's like every once in a while you're kind of like, hey, I did this. So when you showed up today, I was like, yeah!
Yeah, actually, it's funny. I sort of did a secretive reveal of the car.
Yeah.
So there was no images posted of the livery design or anything. It was all under wraps. I ordered a silk sheet that had to be shipped from the UK so that I could do the full silk sheet reveal. So I mean, I've been nerding out about doing that forever. So I finally got a chance to do that.
That's fun. That makes it fun. I got to give a shout out to Box. Box, thanks for showing up, man. Box, Forza RC champion extraordinaire. Okay, let's see here. Screamy says, do I spot Landin wearing AJ1 Shattered?
Oh yeah, these guys. Yeah.
So you're a shoe dude too, right?
I am.
Yep.
I will say I've slowed down the shoe game.
Okay.
I wonder why.
Yep.
But yeah, I do like Jordans, Jordan 1s, Jordan 5s, Jordan 6s.
Okay.
What else? Dunks, very good. Jordan 3s.
You're a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
Sneakerhead's the word,
Yeah.
right? Yep. I'm a van head, I would say, because I have.
Okay.
I just bought 2 pairs this weekend. I was like,
crispy in there.
I almost bought 3. Well, I did buy 3 because I bought Northwest Bunny a pair. But yeah, so I get the shoe thing. But although Vans are my thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go here.
So yeah.
Tell what is this motor
What
for those
is
who don't
this?
immediately know.
This is a 4AG blacktop 20 valve engine. It's actually from a front wheel drive car that was built in the 90s in Japan.
Okay.
It's called I don't even know the real name of it, but the chassis code is AE111 if people want to look it up.
Okay. Something for you guys to do there?
Yeah, basically it sort of is the engine that a lot of tuners in Japan end up using in the 86.
Okay.
It has a good balance of power, and it just matches the car. It suits the car. Actually, I should take this off. Hold on. We're not doing this right. I need to show you guys the business here.
And one of the things, of course, I mean, it starts with being a Toyota as far as reliability, build quality, and all that, but I imagine this engine has some qualities in and of itself that make it just reliable and ready to take what you give it.
Yes, totally.
Right here.
Yeah, it's got oil on it. Let me put it on the table.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to pop that off. So it does have individual throttle bodies, which is one of the things that people really love.
That looks sweet.
It looks great. It sounds great.
Let her breathe.
We should fire it up at some point so people can hear it. But yeah, so it's a 1.6 liter factory. I think it kind of makes around 150 or 140 to the wheels. Don't quote me on that. Someone Google it if I'm wrong, please, and correct me.
Anybody can we get an AE86 blacktop horsepower rating?
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I think it's around there. So, but yeah, this one is pretty. We did some work with Xcessive So we bored the head to like 1 mil oversized.
Okay.
So the valves are 1 mil oversized, and then the head is port and polished.
Okay.
So it's had a little bit of internal work done to it.
And that's just going to help it run smooth up at the top end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give it the air that it needs, and then the individual throttle bodies. That's not stock either.
It is. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. It comes with these throttles. That's what makes the engine so special to people.
But the horn,
yeah,
and
the
intake,
trumpets. These are custom. But yeah, it comes with an airbox, which is weird. So they build these beautiful ITBs, and then they put an airbox over it, which I get it, but
most people don't care.
Yes, you know, like
the average Corolla buyer didn't care.
Totally.
They're like 16 valve. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know what that means, and
it doesn't matter. I mean, I think that is really, this whole car is not supposed to exist. Really, like. No one knew that these cars would be drifted. No one knew that they would
have a
build
huge
them to
following
this.
and become legendary.
Become this cult thing. So,
yeah.
What else can I tell you about the engine?
This is
Panic Wire did the wiring. So his work is immaculate. He's got like heat shrink tubing that you can literally hold a flame up to. It won't catch on fire.
Okay.
Labels all the connections, very tidy.
Factory.
Yeah, he does a really great job. He can do a lot of this stuff without even measuring because he knows the size of the engine by heart.
Is this where your nitrous would attach?
So this is the fuel pressure regulator.
Fuel pressure. Okay.
Yeah, so that's fuel pressure.
Looks cool.
The nitrous nozzles, I removed them because we're going to redo them.
Okay.
So before they were hanging out right here and they were squirting right in. There was one for each cylinder. We're going to drill them into the ITB or build a plate in between the throttles and the engine to make it a little more consistent. But the actual solenoids are back there. So you can see the Zex nitrous solenoids in the back there.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah. Actually, let me... I have to start it to do that. It has a purge, which is cool. So we'll have to remind me to purge. Remind us to purge. The purge is cool. The purge is real.
That's kind of one of the highlights of the show is that startup.
Yeah.
Even though our microphone here is not.
So we'll save that
the
for
most
the climax
awesome
of this, but
and fully adjustable coilovers.
Yep. So it has stance suspension coilovers. They're inverted monotubes, so they're actually upside down. So the shock is upside down. So instead of rebounding, it actually sucks up, which is a bit weird.
Huh.
But it's really smooth for this car. It helps a lot. So the stance suspension is great. Really great guy Dave that runs that company. He's helped me out. So shout out to Dave. It's just going to be a shout out fest, y'all. So just get your Instagrams ready. Get ready to follow people because it's just a shout out fest here. But
yeah, it's got to be. Now, how much camber are you running? Is that a factor for this car?
Yeah, it's actually pretty mild. What is it at now? It's probably like -3.
I'm gonna give you a shot of
something. I don't run excessive camber, mainly just because I don't need to, So yeah, I think it's at like -2, -3, which is actually pretty mild. Most drift cars run like -6 or insane amount of front camber. But I've tried to build this car to be, somewhat reliable and not too extreme in terms of like how I'm tuning it.
Yeah.
Everything visually is extreme,
right?
But the actual mechanics and stuff is pretty simple, and I've tried to keep it that way on purpose. Yeah.
So you see a lot of guys, that have I'm just gonna say a 240.
Yeah. Running
down, and they might go to some open drift days, but they run tons and tons of camber.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, this is not your daily driver. It's kind of a show car, but this is a car you built for drifting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how much camber is really helpful, and how much is just an expression of one's love of camber?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of reasons people run negative camber. I think one of the biggest reasons is for wheel fitment. Okay. With more camber, you can lower the car more, right? Because if the wheels are at 0, you're going to hit the fender. Whereas if you camber them in, then you can kind of tuck them into the fenders a little bit.
Yep.
So I think that's a lot of the reason why people do it. It does help for drifting, and I'll just preface all of this. I'm not a scientist or a mathematician,
Right.
so I'm just going off of what I know. I don't know everything.
But do you fool with it once in a while to change it, or do you just kind of keep it set like that and that's what works for you? And
this has been good for me where it's at. I started out with more camber. I actually had to lift the car. I had to raise the ride height. So I'm running these really awesome tires.
Let's take a look at those.
They're Toyo RR888s. These are the same tires that our boy Ken Block runs.
Woohoo! Shout out to Ken Block!
Shout out to Ken Block, which we can talk. There's some stories there as well, but actually, I got to ride in his car, and it was amazing. But he runs these tires.
Which car did you run?
The Unicorn. Yeah, it was insane. It changed my life. It changed my life, Ken.
You are talking to somebody, or you have ridden in the Unicorn. I've sat in it.
Yeah.
I've touched it many times, but I have not ridden in it.
Yeah, it was a very lucky experience. I feel very fortunate that it happened. But yeah, I was actually in London for the Goodwood Festival for the launch of Horizon.
Yeah.
So I was there for that, and there was kind of some press ride-alongs happening, and I got an opportunity to do it, and it was
Did
insane.
He burn tire, or was it kind of just a little ride around?
He went after it.
So you got a drift run in the Unicorn.
No, he went.
Dude! Oh yeah.
It launches off the line like nothing you can imagine. It's gone immediately. Like there's no lag. There's no like getting the RPMs up. It's just like gone.
This was the V2 Unicorn.
Yes.
So
the latest one.
The methanol burning,
or whatever craziness. And he went through 4 of these in probably 30 seconds. And you can see how meaty these are. Like, let me turn it for you.
That is a, that's a beautiful tire.
Yeah, and they work really well. Super grippy, which for your front steers you want to have for drifting, you want to have grip in the front, and then the back doesn't really matter. But the reason I had to raise the car was because the sidewall is so thick on these, and I can't find sizing. I'm running 16-inch wheels, which is kind of an odd size for tires.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm kind of debating maybe switching to a different set of front tires, only because I want the car to be lower, which is it performs great, but it's a little high. It's a little high, guys. I realize it. Like it's it's a little too much.
Yeah.
So I'd like to bring this down a little bit more. So.
And that's just a purely cosmetic.
Yeah.
Direction you'd like to take the car.
It just flow is cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that goes pretty much unless you're going off road. Like lower your car. Lower your car, people. If you buy wheels and you don't have suspension, no, lower it first, then get the wheels, and you'll be on your way.
I have to kind of agree. I have 3 lowered cars, and I'm pretty sure they all look cooler lowered. I'd love to have a car that you could hard park at some point, but I'm not a big airbags guy. That's not really my thing. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be fun to have. But I mean, the Miata is a little bit lowered on coil springs. The old Ford Fiesta is cut an inch, and my Fiesta ST is dropped just nice and tidy.
Yeah.
I don't want a rub tire. I don't want all the inconveniences of rolling hard like that.
Yes.
But
it looks so good.
Lowered just always. The factory is never going to lower the car as much as it should be lowered.
And the offset. Let's get it correct, guys. Get it correct out there. All right. So that's enough about tires. What else do we want to look at?
Let's see here. Now you've definitely got more going on here.
Yeah, you're the engine. So I'm running coil packs. So there's no distributor. It's all electronic. So that was again done by. With the help of my boy Mark Panic, so he did the wiring and got that all set up. So coil packs are cool, just more precision with the tuning, and you can adjust things a little tighter.
Right.
The header is from AE86 Fight Club. It's kind of
that's a cool name.
It is, yeah, and they have really cool stickers. I should have brought one for you actually. There's one on the back. We'll get there. But yeah, it's a custom piece. They don't make a ton of them. But, really solid, just straight up header.
That's so awesome. It's all just entangled. Now, aside from just looking cool, what is the purpose of all the bends and everything, rather than just having all 4 come straight off and go into one?
It's all like science. It's science and math, which I won't even attempt to explain, but I know that
I don't do the math.
We don't do the math.
We don't do the math. There's people
we
that are
leave
good at
that to the experts. We do the style. But yeah, it's all like related to the airflow, and I think there's equal length headers is a thing where if all of the lengths are now I'm trying to explain something I'm not qualified.
We leave that to the experts, but it looks cool, and it does provide better sound and flow.
It's flow, yeah, airflow. Larger diameter tubes than stock. So as more air comes in, obviously it's got to get out somehow. So that's why people put big exhausts on their cars and headers and all that stuff. So.
And so that's a 2 1/4 inch, roughly, and it would have been like just roughly. I mean, it's a half an inch bigger than what it would have been, or more.
I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how much larger it is. I know the exhaust is a 2 1/2 inch exhaust.
Okay.
Or 2 1/4, one of those two.
And then your oil filter setup there, it looks like you've got larger flow lines, and you got a oil cooler that wouldn't have been stock on the car as well.
So the oil cooler's there. Drifting gets really hot. You run the car at high RPMs for minutes at a time. So it's just a way to keep things cooler. It's cool. It actually has a thermostatic plate. So it only
That's
opens,
a big word.
I know, thermostatic, right?
It was good.
We do know some stuff.
Thermostatic. Yeah, cool word.
So it opens only when it's warm enough. So it doesn't push the oil through needlessly. It only opens once the oil is at a certain temperature.
Okay.
And then it opens and it allows it to flow through the cooler. So it's
So
pretty tight.
I wonder, how often do you change your oil? Do you change it after every drift event?
I try to.
Roughly,
Sometimes
or
I'll do 2 events. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the engine burns a little bit of oil, so I just dump in more.
It's always getting fresh oil.
Yeah, it's always getting fresh oil. But yeah, after usually after every event, you'll have to do a full check of the car. So I get it up on all 4 corners. I check all of the brakes. I check all of the mounts, the suspension, make sure nothing's loose. You're hucking the car and you're hucking the steering wheel and everything's rattling and shaking. So you need to make sure that your wheel bearings are still solid and that your brakes are good and nothing has gotten loose, basically.
Axles aren't broken.
Yes, axles aren't broken, or the lower mount isn't broken, which I didn't know about until I looked at it. And I was like, oh, that's why my alignment felt wrong.
Bandit Keith chimed in with, the exhaust has to do with flow and exhaust pulse for scavenging.
There you go. Yeah.
Excellent word usage there, Bandit Keith. Bandit Keith, welcome to the show, man. Haven't seen you around before, but you apparently know what you're talking about, and that's really cool. I think guys like Landin and I are fairly knowledgeable and can turn some wrenches, but we're more enthusiasts than knowledgists.
Experts or knowledgists, yeah. We're not in the knowledgists category, for sure.
Do you run pump gas?
Yep.
Not ethanol?
92.
Okay.
Octane, it kind of demands it just with the high compression of the engine. So.
Going ethanol would be a whole nother step to really making it a drift-only car.
Yeah.
Ethanol's just not that available around here. I mean, you could get it, you could buy it in big barrels, but that's a whole nother level of commitment.
Yes.
That takes that, just driving it to the events kind of thing out of the picture.
Yeah, you would need to have a trailer and a truck, which I need to get anyways, but considering maybe doing race gas as sort of a supplement to the nitrous setup.
Have another tune available you can throw on for that.
Yep. Just swap that over. So we'll see. I think I'm really happy just having a reliable car that works and that I can drive there, beat it up all day, and then still drive home. Yep. I mean, that's pretty cool. So I'm just stoked with that, and I don't want to do too much. That's like a cool subset
of drifting in itself to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It speaks to the quality of your build, the quality of your driving, and just that you're willing to take that risk and you're committed to doing the whole
out
deal.
There. Yeah. I mean, there's no safety net, which that's what makes it fun, and it's weird. It kind of as soon as you get on the track, you just forget about all the what's the word I'm looking for? All of the things that could go wrong. and all of the things that could happen or break or what ifs and this and that. It's like
ins and outs and what have yous.
yeah, you know, all of the consequences. That was the word. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. All the consequences that come along with it. Like it's gone. It's just you're in there. You're doing it, and fast, if you do it until it breaks. Aggressive. If it breaks, great. Fix it. Break it again. You know, I've had friends that change a clutch at a track event and then drove the next day. You know, people change transmissions. Like, it's whatever it takes to get it done. Yep. And all of the what ifs and consequences are just irrelevant. Worst case scenario is you have it towed home. Exactly. And you like big deal. And you put it in the garage and work on it for the next time. I've towed a lot of 86s in my life. Anyone out there that owns an 86 knows the struggle. You tow it a lot. You always drive with tools. These are the rules of 86. Okay, this is legit. Have AAA, get the best package you can get, and always have tools with you. Always. It'll pay. AAA pays for itself the first time you use it. And if you're going to go out drifting and driving to events, chances are, no matter who you are and what you know, you're gonna need it. Totally. And that's just the best call to make. And then you're just like done. You're hanging out with your bros, and waiting for your car to go home. You hop in your truck, go home, and we'll wait for another day. Yeah, I've broken. Do you want to talk about stuff I've broken at the track? That could be fun. Yeah. So in the course of building this car the way it is, what was the first thing that broke? The first thing that broke was the pinion gear. So in the diff, the pinion ring and pinion. So I chewed that up. That was pretty bad. So that was the first thing that broke. That was the original. That was the original, axle. So that was no bueno. So I had to get rid of that. So went to a truck axle. Then went to a W58 transmission. So it's just a stronger transmission out of the Lexus SC300. Okay. Great transmission for driving. It's pretty bulletproof, so that's solid. It's overbuilt for the power that you're putting to it. Yes. Right. Also, I broke my transmission, so that's a thing. I broke second gear pretty badly. The first time the same time that I had the silk sheet and we did the reveal, I had this whole thing orchestrated. It was like, get the car done, get the livery done, get it painted, get the engine running, get all the wheels and tires mounted and all that, get to the track, bring the sheet, do the video shoot, like get the time at the track so I could even do it and stop everything and stage the shot and all that stuff. And then I go out to do laps for the video I'm making and like trying to show the car driving. And on the third lap, the transmission just gone. After all of that effort and energy and timing, and it was just like, okay, well, I guess that's that. And now I need another transmission. So that's why the transmission is there. So I broke that, broke the axle, or the pinion, and then also broke one of the valves on the head somehow. That day, that same day? Different day. Different day. But these were all three, like, in a row. So it was like, bang, 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 break, 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 and then now it's, it's doing pretty good. So you gotta just push through, stuff's gonna break. Drifting is not a thing that you can just sort of casually get into. Yeah. You gotta commit and... You gotta send it. Oh God. Lick the stamp and send it, baby. So do you have that video? Was that something you'd like to share? We can kind of go homemade here and let me pull it
share
up.
A video. We can kind of watch it here, and you can see
also,
the car in action.
It's on YouTube, so people can go check that out.
What's your handle on YouTube?
It will be on. Did I post it on? Yeah, it's on the Machete Group YouTube page. Search the Machete Group, and you can find it that way. How about I show you the boomerang?
That'd be cool. And just for the record, Landin did bring a spare set of tires. And it is dry. It's very cold out there. But after the show, if you want to see this car doing some of the things it's really good at, he will be leaving a mark in the church parking lot here after the show.
Many marks.
Follow me on Facebook and follow my Heavy Metal Affliction Instagram if you want to see that. And you can also follow Landin. Do you have a public Facebook page that you
I
share?
don't for this. I'm all on Instagram. Instagram, it's squeeze.86.
So follow them there, and if you want to see this thing in action, aside from just in the garage where we will listen to it here on the stream, but after the show is when we do the antics.
Yes, and that's going to go down.
Yeah.
This is a drift car, so this is...
And it's a perfect day for it.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's not. I mean, you're not turbo, so but it is turbo weather, and it is fortunately dry out there in a winter day in Seattle. Dry pavement out here has been somewhat of a rarity.
It is. Yeah. So we're gonna make some smoke today.
There's even ice out there. You will see this car drift through a very small snowdrifts and probably throw ice on me, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so here's this. So this was. I'm just gonna show a small little clip of it. So this was kind of the reveal day, basically.
The sun in the background.
The sun in the back,
so nicely.
and the strobes are going off. Let's see, is that coming through? Can people see
Yeah.
it? Oh yeah, cool. So anyways, go watch the full thing. I don't want to show the full thing here. It's a little overkill. But while we're here, here's a clip of it driving.
Oh yeah. I almost wanted to turn the camera as we were going by. It was just an instinctual thing.
Right. So it gets down.
Yeah, it does.
It gets down. I was running the nitrous this day, so the power was a little higher than 150, probably around 170 on this day.
Nice and tidy, though.
Thank you. Yeah. You have to come to the track.
I really wanted
promise me.
This last time just didn't work out. It was a family weekend,
Yes,
and there was
totally.
just things going on. But
Yeah.
I didn't actually know of Castle Rock Toodle before, so it's a new thing. I definitely need to get there.
You
So
have to go. Yes.
continue to invite me when it happens, and
Absolutely.
I will make it there.
We'll make it happen.
And whether I'm filming with my phone or have some people
GoPros
with,
or
yeah,
yeah, bring the crew out.
ride along.
Yeah,
Ride
ride
along.
along.
What are the rules there? Do they you have to be 16 and older to ride along, or is it loose there?
It's open. Yeah.
Except two 10-year-old boys.
I think that's fine.
One
yeah,
of which is
as long as they're
been in
strapped
several
in.
drift cars, and the other would probably like to have a ride. So
Absolutely.
Hudson and
We
Waven,
can make that happen.
this is going to happen.
Yeah. And anyone out there watching who's around, I don't know if people are around this area, but you know.
Open drift days are awesome for that because you can
Great.
always just hang out there with a helmet and ask for rides.
Yeah.
And almost everybody, I've never been turned down.
Yeah. The only time I think when I was learning, I was a little nervous to have people in the car.
Yep.
Because you don't want to be learning and like struggling, and you're like, oh, sorry, like I'm trying to do good, but you drive in a different way when you're learning. Like you try to drive faster or do things you wouldn't
you
normally
make mistakes
do.
and you don't want to put anybody else at risk, and you want to be able to focus and concentrate.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
But yeah, I think totally just say shout out, hey, I saw you on the show and want to get a ride, and we'll do it up.
Yeah. Evergreen Speedway, you probably go to pretty
I actually
regularly.
haven't been to Evergreen.
Haven't been there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it seems ridiculous because it's like 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Mainly because a lot of my friends have wrecked their cars there, and so I'm just like
Lots of walls at Evergreen
there's
Speedway.
Lots of walls.
Lots of
and,
obstacles.
It's I'm sure it'd be fine, but there's just this like aura around that track of like don't do it because of the walls. It's a great track, great people there. So nothing against anyone there. It's more just some of my friends have totaled their cars there. So.
You've been to Pat's Acres?
Yes,
a
been
few
to Pat's
times.
Acres.
Pat's Acres in Oregon is about 4-hour drive?
It's about what is it? It's like 3.5.
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So, which is pretty highly respected and awesome
Yes.
place where again no real consequences for when things go wrong there unless somebody hits you. But
I will say there's some gotchas out there parked.
is there?
For sure.
Okay.
The rumble strips are pretty big. There's trees, so there's you can
If you really get it wrong, you
Yeah.
can hurt your car there. Whereas
Totally.
Castle Rock
is really
pretty
open.
much
It's
you're
a
gonna
lot
hit a
of
cone
space,
or a tire.
A tire, yeah. You would have to really go like 200 feet off track to hit anything of consequence. So that's
Cool.
nice. It's,
Yeah,
it's a
that's-
good. You can kind of really
Confidence
it's-
inspiring.
Yeah, it's allowed me to really just let go of any fear and just throw the car in and learn how to get comfortable with that. But all right.
Got a couple follows here from people in here.
Cool.
Speaking to it.
Awesome.
Now, at least two members of Blackjack have dope cars. I
Yeah.
assume he's talking about Ryan Literal and you.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And that is Aerotech. I don't know
Cool.
if it's somebody that you recognize or not.
Yeah, maybe.
So
It's been a while.
Let's
Let's
okay.
keep moving here. Engine, we're gonna shut this. Is everyone
Sure.
good? Any
Yep,
questions? No, we're good.
Yep, if you have questions, keep throwing them out there. I will hopefully get to them. I'm not seeing every single...
Just bubble them up.
Yep. If you have pressing questions, feel free to repost them. Do not spam, but... Lewis Hunter 2005, what's up, man? How you doing?
You want to come around the back? The back
Yeah.
is pretty nice.
Let's get a really awesome proper shot of that hood right there.
Oh, yeah.
All the helpful bros and friends on there. Hot version, Arizona LEDs, Factory 83, Xcessive, Machete, Panic, TF Works, Vertex, Work.
Yes. All amazing stuff.
So I'm just going to kind of call out some things I see here.
Sure.
The mirrors, these are...
Those are, what's the company? It's, I needed to study before this. What is it called? It's a guy in Japan that makes them.
They're
I
tidy.
can't remember-
They're tight and small and sporty
Yeah, they're
and
little
cool.
aero mirrors. We did them the same silver. That was, again, all Factory 83's doing.
Yeah.
The guy's a mastermind.
I'm sure somebody in the chat is going to say, those are Instatex or whatever.
Yeah, they're kind of an obscure. I think it's someone that sort of does it on the side. It's not really like a huge company.
That's
but-
even cooler.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think a lot of 8.6 stuff is that way, just because it's kind of a weird, obscure community in some ways.
Yeah.
It's getting more popular. I mean, these cars are getting expensive, so it's
Everything. Except
like-
Miatas, maybe.
yeah, it's a little stressful, knowing that you can't find another shell for as cheap as you once could. But that's
Because
just
these were kind of throwaway cars. I mean, not all of them were the... what was the model? It was the Corolla...
GTS.
GTS,
Yeah.
which was the really desirable ones. Those ones are sky dollars now.
Yeah,
But just all the regular, just the body itself that didn't have the hotter motor in it or the...
just the stock. Like if you could find a totally stock, like unmessed with 8.6, you're probably looking at 15,000. Well, that's not true. You're probably looking at like 8 for a stock one. If
Right.
it has some nice wheels and some nice stuff done to it, then you're looking at like 15K,
Yeah.
which is insane.
More
You know?
than a 240. I mean, 240s are still much more, I hate to say dime a dozen comparatively to an 86.
Yeah. But there's a lot of 8.6 owners out there. The community is really rad. I've met a lot of cool people for sure. But yeah, so these guys, I can't remember exactly the name of the person. If I remember it, we'll come back to it.
Okay.
Come back to it.
How about your wheels?
So the wheels these are Workmeister CR01s. I'll never own another set of wheels that isn't work wheels unless they're Longchamps, which is SSR. Work is just the boss, like they're just the best. So yeah, these are 16 by 8 in the front, and they're negative, I think they're negative 19 or 18 in the front.
Okay.
So I run a staggered offset, and then in the back, these are the big Johnnies back here.
The big Johnnies, I like that.
Yeah, this is where the fun happens back here.
Let me get a sit-down stance here.
So yeah, these guys are pretty, got a decent dish on them. So these are 16 by 9, negative 32.
That's a long name.
That's a lot of negative.
And that's a little bit of a stretch you have on there. Is that deliberate or is that just to get them to fit?
No, it's definitely deliberate for sure. I think, stretching. I mean, I think the reason people stretch tires is so that they can, again, it's fitment.
Part of fitment.
Totally.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just overkill too.
Yeah, I mean, you can do everything too far. Whatever. It's people. That's the cool thing about cars, and that's what I respect about it. Is like, it's wacky, and people do weird stuff. And,
it's your car. Do it your way.
Yeah,
and,
that's what makes it
cool.
cool.
Other people don't like it. Who cares?
That's what makes it cool.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times people get too caught up into like what's right or what is, cool or not, and it's like just being yourself.
It's cool. It's cool that if you like it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's. I've never been susceptible to what other people think.
Yeah.
In pretty much anything that I do, and I love it when other people are able to live their lives that way. It's very freeing.
Yeah.
You don't just want to join on get on the love train.
Yeah.
And ride.
Just do you. So yeah, this is not a super aggressive stretch. These are actually on backwards, but it's not going to matter because the tread is going to be gone in 30 seconds. But yeah, so these are great. I love them. They're 3-piece wheels. Pretty light. I went with 16s just because of the flares. So these are Crystal Body Yokohama, aka CBY. Pretty popular in the 86 community.
Okay.
They do time attack cars and N2 cars. So anyways, the flares are massive. They're actually really big. So
just for perspective there, I mean, that's sticking out at least 5 inches there at the peak?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
And if you put more, the stretch really works there. It makes them fit just right so that they're not rubbing and messing with the flare or damaging the tire.
Exactly. And as you can see, I actually have more room to lower it if I really wanted to, which will happen once I get new front tires. That's the whole issue, is that these ones I can't because of how thick the sidewall is.
Okay.
But I've got some new ones on order, so I'm going to try those, and then hopefully I can lower this and get this gap a little tighter. But yeah.
It's a pretty sweet shot right there. Looks cool.
Workmeisters, they're cool.
Angry Archangel asking, how many sets of tires do you go through in an event?
Well, it depends on how good you're driving on that day. Some days better than others, or how good your car's doing. But the last event, I went through 4 tires.
4 tires.
4 tires.
And so not changing the fronts, just the backs.
Just the backs.
2 sets.
2 sets in the back, and then maybe it was 2 sets and a half. Because you still have to drive. For me, I have to drive home.
Yep.
So whenever I'm at the track, I have to remember to stop and make sure that I have tires that I can drive home on.
Without cords sticking out.
Exactly, yeah. So the tires in here actually are the ones that I drove home with. And this is cool. I thought this would be a cool thing to do.
This is like a reveal right here. Ready?
Yeah,
are you guys ready for the reveal?
Ready?
This is the moment.
It's not that exciting. We're hyping it up too much.
Yeah, drift life.
Yeah, this is what drifting looks like when you don't have a trailer. You know, so I've got a tool kit that has anything I can need: air tools,
torque wrench, tire wheel,
extra starter.
Okay.
My starter has been having issues, so I just bring an extra one with me. I actually changed the starter in a gas station 2 weekends ago.
Because it's 2 bolts and 2 wires, right?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get to. I mean, easy. You got to jack the car up and get under there and get it out and fish it out.
First time sucks. The next time is not as bad. The third time you do it, it's
easy. Yeah, it's
process.
really easy. So, yeah, this is like a typical drifting kit. Mandatory zip ties,
what
all
are those?
types.
Dude, you just totally legitimized yourself right there.
Oh yeah.
If you had any questions about
this is real. This is the real deal right here. I got a flashlight in here. So anyways, basically jumper cables, anything that I can need. Pretty much, I drive with a jack. I drive with extra tires. So if anything comes loose, I can generally fix most smaller issues. Like I had an exhaust leak one event, and I was driving down, and it was messing up my music to car noise ratio.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't have that, so had to pull over, stop, put a new gasket in, drive away.
That's cool.
Pulling over on the side of the road and just get it done.
Yeah, it's tidy. I can tell. I mean, some people just kind of throw things in piles. You are, nicely organized.
I try,
and make good use of the small space there.
Yeah, and then bring an extra set. I usually have my girlfriend is amazing, and she supports this whole chaos of drifting. So shout out to Ashley. Thank you for all your support. She's like the #1 shout out that I don't shout out enough. We gotta have our lovely ladies. That's why Northwest Bunny gets her heart every show. Right, shout outs. Take care of everyone around you in your life. But yeah, this is sort of like if I had no support vehicle, I would bring an extra set, and you sort of just get less laps.
Yep.
I can't really fit more tires in the car just because there's just stuff in it. But yeah, when I drive down, I'll have tools. I'll have a jack. I always bring extra fluids, so I have oil. I have gear oil, engine oil.
Coolant?
No? I bring water.
Okay.
Yeah, bring water. What else do I have in there? I have like grease, like wheel grease or whatever, like for hubs and stuff.
Yep.
Basically, like anything you can think of. I got sandpaper in there. I've had to sand down fenders and fender flares to like make clearance and stuff. So
yeah.
It's good to be prepared.
And your kit is constantly evolving, I imagine. On
Yes.
well, it was useful to have that, and we'll add that to the kit.
Exactly.
I love how your stickers are just revealed here under the louver.
They're
We
kinda
haven't seen the
sneaky.
louver yet. We'll do another big reveal here because now we're gonna.
This is the that sticker I was telling you about, AE86 Fight Club.
That's sweet.
Yeah, super rad. Item B is a good friend of mine. I'm sure some people out here have seen he had an RX-7 that also had a livery design done by Factory 83.
Okay.
So check out Item B on Instagram. Definitely a really, really cool dude doing cool stuff. So
Sweet. What's Burling the Ottawa?
Burling the Ottawa is one of my friend's skate shops, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you skate too once in a while, or used to?
I used to.
Still love the fact that you did.
Yes. This is my skateboard now.
Yes.
You know, I think that a lot of people will say that drifting is like grown-ups doing skating. You know?
I always loved the brief period in my youth where I skateboarded, but dude, this
corner right there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's I don't know if you want to call it all extreme sports, but there's a relative coolness, whether it's BMX or drifting or skating, rollerblading, motocross. They're all these things that you can do, that you express yourself and you take risk and you do really cool stuff.
Yes.
Whether it's backflips or burning tires or whatever it is, or grinding, whatever.
Definitely. It's all connected. It's that same adrenaline, man. It's just that adrenaline rush of just, you can't beat it. You can't beat that sort of, when you're doing something that extreme, you can't think about anything else. Like you're forced to focus on the now and on like one thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that humans, and like I definitely struggle with like thinking so much about all these factors and all this stuff, and it's like it's so nice to just be like, slate's clean, there's nothing up here, and you're just fully focused.
Yep, and it's so expressive too. I mean, if you have a skateboard, you put your favorite stickers all over it, and you've left marks here and there on it. And with the drift car, you've got your livery and your stickers, and a scuff mark here, a crack there.
This is actually I'm proud of this one. This was a good one. I scuffed some tires. So there's tire walls, exactly, and I actually had to avoid a car. So it's an open drift, so there's cars that spin and you gotta avoid and stuff. So
I know when it's gonna happen.
I had to go around and I tagged the tires, but that's cool. Like that's kind of the rite of passage when you have it's damaged, but it's not damaged.
Yeah, it's a scar.
Yeah,
and scars are cool.
Yeah,
we just leave it that way. I remember going way back to Rob Primo, the first real drifter that I interviewed.
Awesome.
And he told that same story about a mark on the back of his 240 that kind of sucks that you damaged your car, but it's a scar, and now you remember that, and that's when you were this one happened in maybe a not as cool instant, but when you hit that clip point just right, and you scuff the bumper just a little bit, you're like, oh yeah, baby!
Yeah, exactly. And that's the joy, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if these taillights are gonna do the thing.
Okay.
But they're actually pretty cool, so let's see if they're gonna cooperate.
And I've heard several requests recently to start that baby up, so we could go there.
Okay. Sure.
And then what I like to also do is sit in the car with you and shoot through the window and talk about what's going on the inside.
Okay, sure. Let me just move this ahead.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's fun.
So yeah, they're custom animated taillights. It says 86.
Sweet.
I kind of went all out with this. So this is kind of the normal like driving mode. The turn signals are like chevron arrows, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. That is a super fun detail. This is the kind of stuff that when you're 13, you're like, God, that's cool. And when you can do it as an adult, it's just as cool as it was.
It's
back
like,
then.
don't leave me alone with money. That's basically what happens.
How much does does a kit like that cost to get?
It's all custom, so I mean, honestly, you're looking at like 1,200.
I was gonna say around a grand. It ain't
really
cheap.
It
ain't cheap to look this cool, but that is super cool.
So that's that. And the brakes are just like really bright brake light strips.
Yeah.
So that kind of lights up.
And that's all LEDs and the little board.
Yep.
And wiring.
But the coolest thing.
Ooh! Oh my God!
Yeah.
You just went Vegas, baby.
Right.
And so if you're sitting, if you're at a car show, you probably run like this.
Yeah, right at the track. There's one mode that I really like.
Oh, that's so fun! You could just. How many settings are there? Like
there's as many. There's the Switch has 12 settings,
and you can custom program them.
So and so these were done by Arizona LEDs. Another shout out. Yeah. Oh my God, what's the shout out count? Do we have a shout out counter or someone out there?
8 or 9? 8 or 9? When you build a car this cool,
you gotta have help.
There's a lot of people that it takes a village.
Totally, it really does. So these were awesome. I sent them off to Corey at he's in Arizona. These taillights are actually like pretty hard to find too, so you gotta like find the taillight.
Oh, it's not just something you can just order the kit off of Amazon.
No, it's all it's all kind of weird, quirky, custom stuff. But
and that's what makes it even cooler is that you went to the effort to find all these things, put it together, and not just have it in a box in your garage for 5 or 6 years. You got it installed and working.
Yes, totally.
Because a lot of people will go halfway, or you're like, you have kids, or things happen.
Yeah.
You lose your passion, and you'll follow through. But something like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't just like order it from Amazon, plug it in, and go.
Yeah.
That was many steps.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's got the strobes going. It's got these. There's actually one extra light on the car, but it got wet and damaged, and it's broken.
Something to fix.
Yeah, exactly.
One more thing to work on, and this is your saying, I assume.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of just a
little attitude.
Yeah, a little something. I don't know why you do any of this, so it's just kind of like I don't know, like
you come up with something cool, you're like, that's cool.
Yeah,
it's going on the car.
It goes with squeeze. It's like the whole squeeze thing kind of just. Like I was thinking to myself, okay, I want to build a car and I want it to have a persona or like some sort of a title or a name or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know where. One day I was just sitting on my couch watching TV and I was like, squeeze. Yeah.
Vision.
And it was just like
came to you.
That was it. So I hit up my buddy at Factory 83 and he came up with this, and we did the squeeze thing, and it's got the, like, if you look really closely at this, you'll see that this is gold flake. It has like sparkles in it.
Yep, sparkles.
Sparkles are cool. But what's really crazy about this that a lot of people don't realize is each layer is a separate piece of vinyl.
Huh.
So for every sticker you see on the car, my friend had to cut one. So for this sticker, there's 3 layers. There's the gold, the black, and the white.
Right.
So he had to cut each of those layers, then weed them, which means you have to pick out the stuff in the center. So you have to like pick out the outlines around everything.
Right.
Because the plotter will just cut the shape, but you have to like extract the shape.
And you don't just rip it off like a Band-Aid.
Yeah, it's not like a sticker that you just slap down.
It's like X-Acto knife.
Yeah, X-Acto knife and patience. So you do all that, and then he layered all 3 of them off the car. So getting the black lined up, put the black on, get the white, put the white, then that sticker can go on. So if you just
after these ones.
After these ones, yes. But if you just look at how many there are on the car, like you can understand how much time it takes to do all that
quickly.
And
I'm pretty sure that it wasn't just like, oh, this one looks good here, this one looks good here.
No,
the whole thing is mapped out in his mind.
I mean, he does little things like this, like puts them over the edges of things and like folds them into corners, and like this one, he could have slid down and just had it end there, but like he brings these ones together to create
it's an art unto itself.
It is, and he really took his time, and even getting the sides to match, like measuring and getting this side to be the same distance of that. It's like
Yep,
It took days.
I could never do that. There's just artists are artists.
Yes.
And we all have our own strengths. And each thing of artistry that you're into, if you've spent that 10,000 hours or whatever measure it is, that's what gives you these skills. But I can't do this. You can't do this. You can do things I can't do. We're all just these awesome individuals that, when we come together to create a car,
Absolutely.
we could really do great things.
Man, look at the light coming down. It's like, it's all.
We need. I want to make this. I'm going to get the floor done here soon. This whole floor is going to be epoxy coated.
The white,
with
clear.
I think I'm going to kind of go with like a beige
Okay.
with the sparkly, speckly stuff in it.
Nice.
Something that'll just that'll help cars pop and it won't look like a bunch of grease stains.
Hey man, I gotta say this is a good space you got. I'm very jealous.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I'm very thankful to have gotten this place and to be able to have taken it where it currently is.
This is a dream. But all right, shall we carry on?
Yeah, let's get in this thing, and we still gotta get Landin in the seat. Landin is gonna spend some time here in the sim, driving as he's gonna go back to his roots.
Yeah.
Back to the roots.
Right. Let's see if I actually learned anything.
Give me a second here as I bobble the camera around everywhere so I can get in the car.
You can hold on to it if you want.
This is the part of the show where everybody's like, "Oh, I just got sick because you're bobbling the camera around everywhere."
Right.
Oh yeah, you plop into this baby.
Yeah, it's pretty low, and
Oh, that is nice and secure.
it's nice and snug. The seat's super far back. I feel like I'm probably the tallest 86 drift driver in the world. I don't know if there's
That's a
many.
pretty cool claim.
I don't know. Maybe not. I know Primo is the tallest guy in drifting. That was his like.
I've
that
got
was
his
thing.
sticker is over there. Yeah.
So I just add tallest guy in drifting in an 86.
That's a really long hashtag, but an awesome one.
So there's some cool stuff in here.
Yeah, I see this first. I see lights and switches, and I love that.
This is really cool. So it's the auto rod controls switch panel. So the key is useless. The key doesn't do anything anymore.
Okay.
The starter's here, right?
Okay.
So that's the starter. I turn my radio on here. Ignition. This is my fan. This is running nitrous, so I can arm the nitrous here. And then these are strobe lights and fun stuff.
Sweet.
But, yeah, it's really.
That is super fun. That's more like Kid Rocket Ship stuff that you're just like, oh man, my car got
It feels
switches.
really cool to like start your car with a button.
Oh, it's a total race car.
I mean it's super cool. So I got one extra just for some other gizmo or gadget at some point.
Ejection seat or
yeah, yes, exactly. That's exactly what it's going to be. But yeah, the interior is pretty standard. There's not a ton going on. It's gutted, so there's no real comforts.
the seat is comfortable. I mean, this is
The seat's comfy, but that's about as far as the comfort goes.
yeah. But nice. I mean, the dash is tidy.
Yeah, it's just all stock. It's all stock.
Got the Ferrari horn.
Yeah,
button.
this was I had to do with that. I actually had the. Oh, there it goes.
Nice.
The horn actually works.
Is that the stock? Horn? That's the stock horn.
That's the stock horn. It wasn't working until now. I guess you brought some magic or
Woohoo!
something.
All right. No extra charge.
I need you to drive with me everywhere I go so I can honk at people.
Then I got to take the blame for when things break too, though.
Right. So what else can I show you? I've got a breaker. Oh yeah, speakers. Let's talk about a breaker. No one cares about a breaker.
The breaker is cool.
It is.
I just see that right there, and it's was that a stock place for speakers?
Yep.
There's nice usually out of the way.
There's usually a cover over it, but I am an odd. I mean, not a lot of people don't like drifting with music, which I can't do. I have to have music blasting to get in the zone and to like get that. Like,
What's your jam?
I have like a playlist, so I listen to. It has everything from a lot of the Blackjack songs. So from people that have watched like the "Live and Let Die" Paul McCartney track that was used, So for all of the super nerds out there that know about Blackjack, there's a lot of stuff that I still carry from that with me. So that's one of them. I listen to a lot of like Rick Ross lately, so just like anything with a lot of bass and just a solid beat. What else is on there? Like Annie Up from MOP is a classic one. Like,
and you want to talk about beat? Yeah.
So
those little 4 inches are not where he's getting his beats from.
Yes. So that's the sub is totally functional, and it blasts. So I'll have this thing, you know, between the engine noise and the music blasting and the tire smoke, it's just like an overwhelming amount of stuff happening, and that's
Serious
like
Nirvana.
It's just you can't process everything, and it's like that's what's cool about it. So that's my style. I'll roll up to the line, like, you know, head bobbing, like bass going off, and it's just you just really get into it. So
that's cool. You don't really see that much because that's an investment in and of itself.
Yeah.
And some people it's all about weight savings, and obviously this is an extra 100 pounds probably that is not contributing to the way the car handles.
Yes.
But
it's that mental game, you know. It's staying in the excitement and just it works for me, you know. I've always been into music. Like, music's important to me, and it drives the emotion, you know. Like, certain tracks will give me more energy than others, and so I've like curated this playlist of like ultimate drift songs that have all the right elements,
the right vibe to them, and take you to that zone.
Exactly. Like, imagine "Turn Down for What," right? That's a song that most people will know, right?
Yeah.
Imagine being at like 8,000 RPM. And that's just blasting in the back, and it's
you can
just
feel
like,
this thing.
You can feel it, and it's just like that's a good song for people that are curious, like what I listen to when I'm driving. It's like it's that, and then some other weird stuff like Boot Scoot and Boogie, and like weird stuff that you're like, what? Like, why are you? How did you go from Rick Ross to listening to Paul McCartney? Well, because that's just how I roll.
I think, Len, I think that speaks to, you know, that's something when you're not like hooked into one thing and that's their thing. It just speaks to, you know, your coolness and adaptability and openness to the world, and letting anything affect you that makes you feel right.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Not cutting anything off because it's like uncool, or, you know.
Bandit Keith says Super Eurobeat series albums 1 through 250, and Aerotech says Rising Sun Goat. Which I've never heard. Is that a band?
Rising Sun.
Right. Or is that an album and a song title?
Yeah, maybe.
I think he's going back. Aerotech, Night of Fire. I don't know if people are just shouting out some of their favorites. Get some old Dave Rogers going.
Dave Rogers. I don't know Dave Rogers. I have Eurobeat actually on this USB drive.
Okay.
In the car right now. So yeah, I do listen to Eurobeat sometimes. The
Initial D soundtrack.
Yeah, the Initial D stuff. We obviously use a lot of the Initial D stuff in the Blackjack videos. What other tracks were big for videos? I'm blanking. I can't remember. I don't know. We've talked about a lot.
Sorry, Aerotech. I'm probably far from dork, but I don't know those particular bands. I'm an old school rocker that appreciates a lot of different music, but I do not know Night of Fire or Goat. So
Nights of Fire.
I go there. I'm into all kinds of cool stuff.
Nights of Fire.
But like some Avenged Sevenfold or some heavy death metal beats like that, you go there at all?
I don't go there. No.
Okay. Yeah. Some people.
I will listen to like what. Let me just pull up my playlist.
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay. Go there.
Since we're talking about it, instead of me like stuttering and trying to figure it out, let me just pull up the list.
Yeah, and let's hear the beats, and then we'll hear the engine, because a little moment of music is all good.
Okay, cool. Let's pick a PG-13 track.
D0 just posted a YouTube link to Project Blackjack Stage 1.
Stage 1, nice, thank you. Yeah, that's still on the internet, you know?
Okay, Aerotech, I got you there. I understand GOAT as greatest of all time, but I didn't know if you were talking about a band there. But thank you for clarifying. Now
right.
I don't feel as dorky.
Wait, that's not connected.
Oh yeah, Kickstart My Heart, dude.
Yeah, that's like a classic.
You gotta go there.
That's a classic. Let's see if my stereo is going to work.
Danger Zone.
Yeah, Danger Zone, yes, thank you. Top Gun soundtrack. Top Gun soundtrack is like perfect for drifting.
Deep variety there. Ready? Cover your ears. good. I think that was a Wheel and Pedal Wednesday moment right there.
Right?
It's going to be tough to match.
Just wait until we get out on the track with the cameras.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, what else do we got on here that would be?
STL Rob says he heard that from his kitchen. I first started bobbing my head and some snot almost came flying out. I'm like, whoa, snippers!
Here we go. This is from the movie Rad. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
This is from the Rad soundtrack.
This is from the BMX movie.
Yeah.
Rad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's all about the chorus.
Yeah, if somebody could grab a clip of us rocking out to Kickstart My Heart, I would love to republish that and use that to promote the show because that was awesome.
Here's another track.
It just happened. We did not plan that.
So this song, you know this track, Bruno Mars, 24 Karat? No? This is like, this is not top 40, right? But it's just so fun.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
Yeah. It's so much
Your deck looks cool. Like you can change the colors on that.
Oh yeah, of course.
The pink's awesome.
Go with the pink. So yeah.
And that's just so cool that you've got the jams going on in here.
Yeah.
It's it's not just stripped down. You got to enjoy it.
It's all part of the experience for me.
Yeah.
Like it's not right without that energy that we feel right now. That like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like it totally takes you to where you need to be.
And it just it allows me to just be a maniac. Like when I'm drifting a car, I feel like a different person. Like I'm pretty quiet. In person, like I'm pretty, like chill, laid back, mellow.
Yeah.
But when I'm in the car, it's like the dragon comes out, and it's just like, I want to just like blow flames at anything around me. Like it just, it turns.
Oh, I mean, a car like this that you've built to do these cool things, it makes you feel that way, and it's just this reflection of your character. And the way you want to present yourself, and your own charisma. It's just all this huge package, and. When you're happy with yourself and you love yourself and you're able to express it through something as cool as the venue of this car, that's a moment. That's a loving moment.
I mean, it's sometimes I step back and I think back to when I was in my basement playing Forza and like driving 8.6s. Like I drove the 8.6 in Forza. I can't even more hours than I have in this car.
A lot cheaper.
Far. So I spent a lot of time like thinking about one day. It's taken me 12 years.
These are those days.
Don't give up. Stay in it. Don't give up because
make it happen.
You can get it. You gotta just be committed, and things can happen. But nitrous bottle. You want to show people?
Yeah.
The nitrous.
Is it behind me?
Yeah.
I can't.
Here I can hold.
You can take the camera. You're the pro with the camera.
Oh man, let's see if my skills here are any good. But
I know it's not a lot to work with,
right? So, anyways, this is the nitrous setup. You can hear it kind of go into the line, so I'll just open it up so I can purge some out later.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of it's pretty sweet. The nitrous is one of these weird things that's like, why do you have nitrous on an 8.6? And it's like, well.
Horsepower,
it's horsepower, but you still get to stay NA, which is cool. So it's not a turbo, it's not a supercharger. I still get the sound of the engine that I like, but you get the power. So that line runs up here. We've got a little regulator, so pressure regulator. And then this line runs to the previously installed nozzles that I was telling you about that I took off
to just
recently.
shoot into the intake there.
This is the breaker for the car, so if I pop this, everything turns off. Which is, handy feature. It's a safety thing.
So is that similar to like the same thing on the outside, like the shut off thing?
Exactly, it's the same idea.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Fire suppression?
I have an extinguisher right here. Boom. Okay. Yep, ready to go. It's not on like a pull switch or anything, but
And no cage.
No cage. That's next on the list for sure.
Okay. Will you go full door in?
No, I won't do
just
full. Yeah, maybe we like put this up here. Is that a good view? Can you see us? Leg. But yeah, I think I probably wouldn't do door bars, just mainly because I want to be able to get in and out of this thing. It's already hard enough as it is. Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that works.
So yeah, I'd probably just do like a half cage, so like the full hoop in the back,
Okay.
the cross beams, and then just the straight down, the kind of angled bars.
Okay.
Down to the front.
So if somebody did totally tag your door, you'd be safe.
I'd have a little bit
and
of protection.
if you did actually roll, the roof
Yes.
isn't going to crush in.
Yeah.
But you're not really doing a lot of high speed stuff.
No.
So the risk is pretty low.
It's mitigated.
Yeah, it's self-mitigating.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, this is kind of the where the business happens.
Yeah, it's Drift Office.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Drift Office. That's actually a place.
Okay, I think now is the time. I think where we fire this market up.
Okay, let's do it. So we're gonna.
So headphone warning: if you have headphones on, this car is not massively loud, but it's gonna get fairly loud.
Yeah, it rattles. This is a race car, so it's not a very comfortable situation.
We'll watch the startup sequence here.
So we've got
Ignition on.
fan, ignition, radio, which isn't necessary, but we're gonna do it.
There we go.
We're off.
Yep, and she is a Toyota, so she does make her own smoke.
Yep, burns a little oil. Still trying to figure that one out. But, that's an easy problem to solve. You just dump more in.
Yeah, and you don't run it in garages for a long time without a pipe going out the window.
Exactly.
All right, well, that was super fun.
I'm going to cop out and I'll grab the camera so we
Okay, cool.
can do a good handoff here.
By the way, there is our fancy new heater that brought it from about 9 or 10 degrees in here this morning to what it feels like it's probably 40 or it's maybe 50 or warmer in here. And if you buy the heater,
Yeah.
that thing is
So it puts off a little bit of oil, but
and emerging from the smoke.
right. Boom.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that we should talk about the car? We've got about 30 minutes left or 20 minutes left.
Okay.
We got to get you in the seat.
Okay. Let's get that set up. I think. Why don't I just do a roll call shout out? I want to really make sure that
want to stand in front of all the.
I have a chance to thank everyone.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
Really important to me.
We all about the shouts.
Yeah, man. And, it's important to thank the people that have helped you. So, big, huge thank you, Xcessive. Thank you. They took the car on. They helped me with the suspension mods. They helped me with fabrication. They helped me with tuning, just everything. Also taught me a lot. I learned a lot about, just working on cars from them. So huge shout out to Xcessive. Big shout out to Panic Wire. If you ever need wiring, he is a magician with Japanese motors. He knows things about them that I don't even know if Toyota knows. So Panic Wire is a huge help. He's helped me with tuning the engine, getting it running, figuring out the whole nitrous setup and how we were going to pull it off. So that's been awesome. Factory 83, I've talked about him he is the magician that made this thing shine and turned it into what it is.
It's so awesome.
So yeah, huge thanks for the time and the effort and willingness to do that. You know, thanks to Arizona LEDs for hooking up these cool taillights that, you know, just break people's necks wherever I go. It's awesome. I love it. TF Works is the company that I get my suspension through. So thanks, shout out to Dave from TF Works. Really appreciate you.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, my friend, one of my best friends, Matt Panic. You're probably going to watch this at some point. Thank you. You've definitely shown me so much. He's part of Team Should Dynasty, which is a popular drift team that some people may know about.
Okay.
They drive 70s Toyotas.
Okay.
So he drives a 71 or 72 something Toyota Celica.
Sweet.
Very, very awesome driver. Knows a lot about a lot and taught me so
Knows a
much.
lot about a lot. That
lot.
is a very concise statement.
It's impressive.
I like
you
it.
know? So thanks to him. I'm sure that I'm missing people that have helped me. But yeah, you know, I'm stoked to have a cool car that does cool stuff. And yeah, it just sort of, this is it. I don't know. Yeah, this is it. That's all I got. That's all the shout outs.
All right, there we go.
Shout out to Toyota for making an amazing chassis.
The Squeeze 86, folks.
Driving, you know?
All right, we're going to get Landon in the driver's seat and let him show his stuff a little bit in Forza 7 to kind of close this down. And then the post-show antics. It's like you come for the Wheel and Pedal Wednesday and you stay for the donuts.
Yes. We'll let it warm up a little bit. It won't sound as bad.
Yeah.
And we can see if I fit in your rig. I'm going to be a good test of the
And the seat
size
depth,
parameters.
yeah, you will be probably testing the lengths of the cords, but you can move it back as far as you need to.
Kill that. Let me get my jacket off. This is serious now.
Oh, he's taking the jacket off. You know that heater's working now. I mean, it feels pretty good in here. That thing is, it's not killing us, at least as far as I can tell.
I'm still breathing pretty good.
Yeah, I don't feel high or weird or anything.
No.
It's a pretty large space and it's pretty drafty. I mean, this is an open window right here, so it keeps us safe.
All right, is this the maxed out?
Nope, right straight in front of you. There you go. Just slide it back.
Okay, I think
it
might be maxed out.
Might be cords that are.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you are hitting.
Okay.
You are hitting the.
I think I can make this work.
Sorry.
No. I mean, I'm not the normal, you know. Okay, wow, you got the gated shifter. This is awesome.
Yep, this is the top of the line Fanatics Club Sport level wheel pedal gearbox hub setup.
It actually
sports
feels
wheel.
really good. Like
It's super positive, super close ratio.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have complained about is there's no gates actually, so you
it is.
have
It
to
does
know
look.
where it is.
Yeah, I was
Once
like,
you know
am I in
where-
reverse? But yeah, okay. I mean,
Sometimes you'll go into fifth instead of third,
Or if you
until
go
you
into
get familiar
fourth,
with it.
yeah.
Just because you got to get to know the spacing. It's real
7.
tight. And then of course this is the Fanatic
Hydro.
handbrake that works awesomely with Forza 7.
Cool.
So
Nice.
you can go, and for me, I like it here because that's for me where the handbrake's supposed to be, is behind the shifter.
Yeah.
I realize it's a little awkward though.
yeah, it's all good. You adapt, right? You
One of
gotta
these days
figure it out.
we're gonna do another upgrade on.
So
the,
what do you got for me here? What are we
let's
gonna
go
do?
pick your car. Let's go to my garage. You want to drive something high horsepower drifting?
Yeah, give me
Um,
something.
You want to
with
drive a
some juice.
Toyota?
Give me something with some juice. I think like you guys have the Formula D pack, right?
Yeah, I believe the Formula D pack cars. I mean, Ken Block's cars are in here.
Let's go with the which? Yeah, if you just pull up the Formula Drift there it is. Yeah, this is where we want to be.
So you've got. I love the Haitley BMW. That thing makes crazy sounds. It's very highly powered.
Where are the arrows on this guy?
This
I
is.
see.
I
Gotcha.
don't know if I've got my update here. I think we did an update that's supposed to fix this menu problem, but
Oh,
with
okay.
the wheel will kind of do some weird things. So if you don't want to drive the Haitley, I'm going to shut this off and repower it.
Okay, sure.
And then you can go back up and pick something.
I want Field's car. This thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. Funny story, my boy Factory 83 did delivery on that car.
Oh, really?
I don't know if he did that one, but he did
a Matt Field car that got into the game. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Pretty positive.
Maybe it might be the one that's in Horizon 4. So
Yeah,
here
yeah.
now you should be able to use this to navigate up.
There we go.
There you go. And now I'm going to ask you a question that I ask everybody else, and we're probably not going to go drift there. But what's your favorite track in Forza?
See, look, Factory 83.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Woo!
Can people see the screen, or you'll switch it
Oh,
over?
actually, yeah, I gotta do that. Is what I'm gonna do. Thank you. Good
I'm
reminder.
tired of our faces. There we go.
There we go.
So yeah, the can I zoom in on this? Is there a way to zoom in? Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah,
Factory 83 on the bottom right. That's
Nice.
the same guy that did my car. So he did this car. So it's the small world, man. All the
Yeah.
drifters know each other.
Well, he's as far as big time livery dudes go, he's definitely big time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the guys that's very respected. And so, okay, let's go from here, single player. We'll toggle over. There you go, and go to free play.
Bam.
So I ask everybody what this
Favorite
question-
track.
Favorite
Okay.
track.
Let's see the options. It's been a while.
So we'll go setup, and then go to race setup.
Cool. I will say it has been. I've played so much Forza in my life.
Yeah.
More than many people will ever play in their whole life. So I haven't.
Not among this crowd.
I know.
Not among this
I
crowd.
gotta watch myself. But yeah, you know, it's. I've played a lot, so I have not played.
Do you
recently.
still play quite a bit, or
I
not as
honestly
much these
don't
days?
game that much.
Okay.
It's tough to own a drift car and do anything else.
I totally hear that. I totally
You know,
hear that.
like
Yeah.
it just takes so much time that I don't really have too much. Ooh, Suzuka is always a good option.
Yeah. Dubai is a really fun drift course that I like to drift at. There's a big uphill segment if you like hills. Of course, there's Maple Valley if you kind of want to go old school.
Maple Valley
drift
is
favorite.
solid.
A lot of people like to drift Prague.
Let's see here. I want to go with something familiar, so I'm not totally just messing up here. I want to
Okay.
hold it down for Blackjack. BLKJ, I need to hold it down.
Yeah.
I apologize if I don't. There's a lot of pressure right now. I feel more stressed than I do at the real track.
Bernese Alps is a great drift track.
Yeah, that helps.
Um,
Let's go
it's
with
snow.
let's go with Maple Valley. That's
Okay.
that's OG classic.
Yep. Recommended.
Yeah, that's OG classic.
Razor says Maple Valley. He was right there on it. He read your mind.
Okay, so then let's go to
okay, so go back
assists
to-
and options maybe.
First, go back to race setup because we're going to set up a drift round.
Oh,
instead
I
of
see.
circuit racing. So
Gotcha.
slide down to and go to drift. One more. There we go. And 8-minute session is probably going to be just perfect.
Go.
And A.
Cool. And then we can check the assists.
Yep.
All
And
right.
I'm manual with clutch.
Okay.
I use ABS. You can
ABS.
turn that off if you want.
With this setup, I think I'll go ABS.
And I always give my fair warning that my brakes I have set, within the Fanatic stuff. To I like to stomp on the brakes.
Okay, so you need to
you're
really
not-
kind of-
you got to put your foot into it.
Okay.
Most of my cars are not power brake cars,
Yeah.
so that's how I tend to drive.
Clutch, shifting, great.
And I'm
Ooh,
always
friction
trying
assist,
to.
That's a new one. Huh. Oh, I see. Oh, cross different surfaces.
Yeah, so if you
Cool.
will go over in the gravel, it's you're not going to
You
feel
guys
the
are
gravel.
cooking up all sorts of new stuff.
Oh
man.
yeah, Aaron Brooks has been
Yeah.
in charge of the physics for a few years now, and as you know, Aaron is like super smart dude and
Yes.
just like dives into anything that if he doesn't know about something,
He'll
he
figure
learns
it out.
everything about it and then does it right.
Yeah, Aaron's great. Yeah, shout out to everyone at Turn 10. I mean, it's been a while. I miss you guys, but you guys are doing killer stuff.
Yeah.
Really killer stuff. Horizon blew my mind. So shout out to Playground, Ralph, all of those dudes and dudettes, everyone, the whole team over there.
Now,
killing it.
You were with us, you were with us when Horizon, the first one on the 360 came out.
Yes. I
But
think
somewhere between.
Forza in between 5. I think 5 was the last title I worked on.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
Sometime around there.
Somewhere in there. Yeah. All right. Cool. So we're all good. Let's do this. And
Oh, you did.
Did I hit back? Oops.
I don't think you changed
I don't
anything.
think I did.
So, doesn't matter.
Yeah. All good.
Doesn't matter. Just trying to screw you up. The other day, I had my contractor install a sliding door up in my bedroom, and I went up there and I was like, "Oh, I'm glad I checked. I was worried that you were going to put the door in backwards." And I was like,
Oh, wait.
and it looks like you did.
Experimental drag.
Oh, looks like let's go.
Can I cancel that? Or I've already loaded
Let's
it?
It's loading.
What happened there?
Track loading.
Hey, let's that's okay.
Maybe I can make it work.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to drift at the drag strip, but if anybody can do it, you can do it.
No.
Let's go over to race setup,
Bam.
And then go toggle down and
I
go
don't
to
know where
drift.
that came from.
And you'll want to set your track to.
Good old Maple Valley. All right. Sorry, y'all. We'll get there eventually.
Did it get set to Maple Valley?
No.
'Cause what might have happened? You might have gone there and then pressed B, which
Yeah.
I often do myself. So
There we go.
yeah, toggle over to Maple Valley to the right. Yeah, I am the king of screwing up menu stuff, and I have like zero tolerance for menu things. I will complain and be like, "What are you trying to do? No, just do my."
I know, right? Okay, so we're good.
Now we're good, and track's loading, and then that's going to tell you to start race.
Bam.
Yeah, Archangel's telling you to send it.
Send it.
Yep.
Lick that stamp and send it. Is that a Johniwanna custom?
I came up with that yesterday, and then I actually went the distance, and I was like, lick the stamp, lick the stamp, and send it. Put the flag up, close the door. I went way over the top. I don't know if it was really.
Wow. So is this 900 degrees?
It might be.
Oh my god, man. You want to look at the clutch too? Okay, hold on. We're not gonna do this view. That is insanity.
So select.
Selected.
3 lines. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
My view, I actually like hood view.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of a weirdo.
And of course, you've got, and it's probably got, 1,000 horsepower. plenty of horsepower. You're used to driving that where
Right.
your foot to the floor. This
All
thing,
right.
you can be in 4th gear anytime and bust it loose. And the wheel is, as you know, you gotta catch it right away, or you go around. You've got
Oh my God,
you've got the
this is
drift
tough.
angle kit in here.
Yeah,
Which is
this is not
a
easy.
super huge change. So you've got way more steering angle than you were ever used to in a Forza game before.
Oh, I knew I wasn't gonna do good at this part.
Well, you're catching it though. You're catching it right away.
Oh my god. It's embarrassing.
It's all right. It's all right. The first lap's the evil one. You might want to go right to 4th, and that's going to give you a little bit
Less power, yeah,
Yeah.
right? This thing is no joke.
Yeah.
Maybe that was my other mistake, was picking a 1,000 horsepower car. Not something a little bit more chill.
And you can also e-brake initiate if that's what you're used to.
Yeah, I definitely like to flip for sure.
I'll oftentimes use a heavy brake, foot brake, to kind of get the nose to dive in a bit and break off some of my speed, and then e-brake initiate. It's
I
all right.
stuck. I lost it. I lost all of it.
No,
It's
this is
all gone.
Dude, there's the only person that I have seen step into the simulator and just kill it all day is Aaron Levin,
Yeah.
who you might know.
He gets to do. Oh yeah, from Destroy.
Destroy, yeah. And mad skills and a lot of sim time recently. But even that, his first couple laps were, not his best laps.
Yeah.
So you just got to let these first laps happen. You don't feel the pressure. Get a feel for the car. You've never driven this car in real life. You've never driven this track in real life.
Yeah.
It just takes a moment to you can put Kickstart on my heart on.
That might help.
Get the jams going.
I might break your rig setup.
Yeah, that has seriously always been one of my favorite tunes. I might actually have to play some Rock Band later and do a little Motley Crue session. So I'm feeling it, and I can't wait to see the clip. I hope somebody got that clip, and we'll put that out there and credit you, and then and promote the show. Unknown Work, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you here. Thanks for coming. Starscream says he recorded it and is uploading it to Xbox Live. Thank you, Starscream. That's awesome, man. Yeah, and Voodoo Umo, Christian Gerges, you probably know.
Yeah.
He was on a few weeks ago with his Porsche, and he's definitely not a drifter, but came on and drove as he lived up to the legend that I had
basically
Set up.
pressured him into being.
Right. I'm glad that I hope that you weren't hyping people up too much on my Forza skills.
No. I think I was just going to...
drifter ever, Forza.
No, I mean, everybody knows. Nobody has this expectation that you're going to step into a simulator the first time. And I bet if you were in a lower power car, you'd probably do better. Because these cars,
They're not easy.
they are so easy to run away from you.
You really gotta be chill. Is there any way that you would give me a controller?
I don't have one out.
You don't have one?
No.
I would definitely do better with a controller. No joke.
Yeah. Controller is a whole different world. I mean, obviously, instead of 900 degrees radius turn, there you've got instant left-right response, and the way your hands and eyes are coordinated for your own drift skills, it just comes together. What I usually like to drift is I'll drift a Cadillac CTSV with like 500 horsepower and a really mild drift tune on it.
Do you have one of those available
Yeah,
that we can load up?
We can switch out.
All right, let's do this. This is embarrassing.
Yep.
All right.
Go ahead and switch out.
Menu.
And quit the race.
Quit race. Quickly, before anyone notices.
No, that's all cool. This show is all about your car. If you want to come back sometime and be like, car collection is crazy. We go select car.
I should have
And
practiced.
go left to Cadillac.
At E.
I've got a nice Cadillac with a Jeeves tune on it. Shout out to Jeeves for being my drift tuner. Cadillac. There we go. One more. And let's see here. And the CTSV I think is at the top. CTSV is right there. You're on it.
This
You're
guy.
on it. Yep.
Okay.
That
A
is-
class?
that- Yep. That is.
All right.
That's my drift rod right there.
I'll give it a shot.
It's way more. You got about 500 horsepower.
Yes.
Um,
oh wait, did it do that fucking experimental thing again?
Oops.
Sorry.
No. You should be right where you were.
Oh, okay.
You're
good.
still
All right.
making money. You're good. So this car, I was able to put together some pretty good laps in. Still plenty of power, but not quite as snap drift, right? You can feather in a little bit easier, and it doesn't just run away.
Okay.
There you go. Look at you! Look at you!
There you go. We
Look
can-
at him
we
run
got
out the
this.
first
We
corner
got
of Maple
this.
Valley. Look at that!
We got
Look at
this.
that! You put him in the right car. You put him in a Jeep Cadillac, and he got it right there. Look at that.
Oh, too much.
It's all right. It's all right. Nailing that first corner, when you come around Maple Valley, that is like your glory moment.
I
Is
know, this
making
track
that
is
corner.
great. This track has so many memories. This hill is fun too. If you go backwards, you can hit the jump. I know a lot of people like doing that.
A little jump drift in the style of the first jump drift.
Biff, where are you? I'll just stay. Let's see.
Ooh, nice entry there. Came in a bit hot.
Yeah. Man,
That's all right. Doesn't this feel a bit easier though? You're still coming
It
at
is.
it,
Yeah.
full on aggressive. So if I had a recommendation, I would say, step back a little bit, come in and get a feel for the car, and start feeling it out and pushing it. But you have dove right in. You're just like animal style.
it never works. Understeer is not good in drifting. Never works out. You're understeering, just give up on the corner.
Punch that brake, set the nose, give it a little tug, and this thing will just come into line. And front brake really does line it right back up. It'll go from understeer to just right on.
Embarrassing.
No, this is your first lap. Give yourself credit. First lap, you killed it on the first corner,
Right.
and then you're like, I got this. But there's still some learning to do here.
Yeah, and the feedback is actually a lot to manage as well. Like
Yeah.
dealing with the force feedback.
Oh, dude, I have built up a sweat out here.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
this
bet.
thing will give you a workout. What's up, John Witch? What's up, Claret Bucket 750? Parasano, thanks for being with us today. Suffering, Oliver, Jeeves, Snow Owl, our moderators today. Thank you guys very much for everything that you do for us. Could not do this without you. Angry Archangel, thanks for hanging out with us today. Glad to have you. And Starscream, thanks for being with us. Aerotech, Swooshy and Razor, a lone cow. Sushi's here. D0's here. We got a grip of moderators up in this right here.
Here we go.
Northwest Bunny wishes that she was there to sit in for the donuts. Yep, you will be able to see that. And again, one more shout out to, of course, Landin's Instagram, which is Squeeze86.
Squeeze.86.
Squeeze.86.
The dots are cool now. That's what the kids are doing. Dots.
Okay, yeah.
I was going to do an underscore, and then someone was like, no, you're a dot.
Okay, did not know that. One more thing that I learned today. And of course, Heavy Metal Affliction, one word. And then, of course, my Facebook social you can follow on, where we will be destroying some tires here in my church parking lot.
Much more effectively than right now.
Yep, with well, potentially more consequences, but much more style and tire smoke that you can smell and taste.
Right.
Baby, come back. I want to kill more tires.
Yeah. Was there anything else that we didn't cover? I'm trying to think. I think we did pretty good.
No, you are taking us out here. We are at noon, which is when this show runs every Wednesday, 10 to noon. In case you're a first-time watcher, if you're a first-time watcher, become a first-time follower. Follow us here at Forza Motorsport. Well, Forza is all I really need to say. Follow us on Mixer. Follow us on Twitch. We love to have your follows. Then you'll get notifications on when we're doing shows, which is basically every day of the week. Tomorrow, I'll be back at Turn 10 Studios for Thumbs Up Thursday. I'll be playing Forza Horizon 4, and I do have a plan to do some pretty fun stuff. So come back for that.
This barrier is savage.
That thing is right there.
Who put that there?
Yeah, no cheating.
That is like, yeah.
You
like
get it wrong there, and you can upend your entire world.
Savage on that one. Like, nah.
There's been a real focus in Forza 7 over the last couple of years with Forza RC being such a thing that we're really trying to make the tracks, make it fair for everybody. So there isn't a place for people to cut. You can see all the little blue lines along the side.
Yeah, I like that.
The new track limits feature. Yeah. So you can see definably what the track limits are. So if you're going to get a dirty lap, you can look back on your replay and be like, oh yeah, I guess I did. Whereas it was a little bit more subjective before, where it was maybe they give you a little more space here, a little less
now
space
it's
there.
clear, it's red, you're off.
Yep.
Is red 2 tires off, or how does it calculate?
I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 2 tires off.
Okay, like 2 full tires.
Yep, 2 full tires off.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, you can play with fire a little bit, but when it goes red, you know that you dirtied your rod. Is it 2 plus? Pyrosonic says 2 plus, so more than 2 tires off.
I see.
So 2 tires can touch the line, but 2 tires cannot go over the line. Yeah!
Alright, I think I'm doing a little better, at least a little more respectfully.
Yeah. I mean, and what? You're 3 laps into it. So give yourself some credit there. And doesn't the Cadillac feel good?
It does.
It's got, it's not a super high horsepower car. It's not light by any means. But I've just always liked the way this thing swings. I like some weight in the rear, to get that rotation going.
Ooh, yeah, totally.
Nice.
The long wheelbase too makes it stable.
Yep.
Which is something that definitely the 86 is known. It's a short wheelbase. Same with the Miata.
Yep.
Like very twitchy, very snappy. Movements happen quickly, whereas like the long wheelbase.
Some of the most awesome donuts that I have flung out here and that have been flung out here are in sketch limo. 27 feet of the American dream, off-road, stretch limousine. Right. And that once that tail starts coming around, it's like, I'm out there, baby.
Is anyone still watching? Because now I'm doing better.
Yeah, they are still watching.
Good. And this wall again, I'm gonna hit that every time.
You're not used to that being there. That didn't used to be there. Yeah, you got it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you got it, dude.
This has been awesome.
Yeah.
Super rad.
Super fun. You can finish out your 30 seconds here. I think that's going to take you right up to that final corner where you.
All right.
The first
I'll
corner.
Get one more shot.
Got one more shot at glory here.
All right.
And then we'll take this out and we will get it warmed up, and it's going to get drifty around here. Sorry, neighbors.
Yeah, I was curious about that. Are they all right?
I've only got 3. The guys across the street are young and jam music all the time, and the dude's got a 240 drift show car. The neighbor on this side is a good friend. They don't care. People over on this side, they both work, and it comes down to it. It's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's real quick.
It's gonna be about 5 minutes
In and
every
out.
week.
Yeah.
I had Chris Jenner in here with his 1,000 horsepower S2000.
Nice.
Pretty loud.
Yeah.
You're not making
I'm
that.
not-
We're making
yeah.
some tire squealing sounds. We're gonna hear some exhaust, but
Yeah.
this is not a straight piped 1,000
Totally.
horsepower twin turbo.
Maniac machine.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's different sounds, but you know what? I've never had a complaint yet. It's been a year,
Yeah.
and if anybody wants to complain, I'm gonna say, look, it's 5 minutes
Yeah.
of a week,
Yeah.
and it's in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Totally. I think you can deal.
We'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll be all
Dude.
Boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, Landin Williams
Thank you.
here on Wheel and Pit on Wednesday. It's been a lot of fun. I think
Yeah.
this was one of the great shows.
Nice. That was my hopes, except for the driving. I apologize. Come see me at the track. Come see me at the track.
Watch him do the
You
real
know?
thing.
Come see me at the
You
track.
can
That's
redeem
all.
yourself in real life out
Yes,
here. And if
I
you
know.
can do it in real life, everything in Forza is forgotten.
Right? I will be absolved of all crimes.
Yes. So as we say usually at the end of the show, I'm Johniwanna,
I'm Landon Williams.
and we are out of here.
Peace.